Ambassador James Turner stood motionless before the immense view screen. The broadcast had ended 15 minutes ago, but the images remained burned into his consciousness like acid on metal. 80,000 human women, colonists from New Eden, lined up and systematically executed by Galactic Imperial forces. The Empire had transmitted the footage across all channels, a demonstration of their supposed superiority and the consequences of resistance. Turner's aide, Lieutenant Maria Reyes, approached cautiously. "Sir, the Emergency Security Council meeting begins in 10 minutes. He nodded without turning. "They wanted to break us, Maria. They thought this would make humanity surrender." His voice was unnaturally calm. "They don't understand humans at all." The Galactic Security Council chamber buzzed with anxious conversation. Representatives from 200 species occupied their designated platforms, many casting uneasy glances toward the human delegation's empty seat. High Chancellor Voxel of the Empire entered with his entourage, mandibles clicking in satisfaction. The New Eden massacre had been his directive, aimed at quelling the troublesome human expansion. Humans were newcomers to the galactic stage, barely a century since first contact, but already they pushed boundaries and questioned imperial authority. "This council recognizes High Chancellor Voxel," announced the moderator, a neutral AI entity. "The floor is yours, Excellency." Voxel's translator converted his chittering speech to standard galactic. "Esteemed colleagues, today we have witnessed necessary justice. The human colony on New Eden violated 17 imperial protocols. Their punishment serves as a reminder that the Empire's laws." The chamber doors slid open. Ambassador Turner entered alone, wearing a simple black suit with a small blue pin, Earth's symbol. The room fell silent as he walked deliberately to the human platform. "The human delegation is recognized," the moderator stated. Turner stood silent for 30 seconds, scanning the assembled representatives. When he spoke, his voice carried effortlessly through the chamber. "For centuries before we joined your community, humanity fought itself. We nearly destroyed our civilization multiple times. But we learned, evolved, and when we reached the stars, we hoped to find wisdom greater than our own." He paused. "Instead, we found you." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Today, the Empire broadcast the execution of 80,000 unarmed civilians, mothers, daughters, scientists, farmers. Their only crime was being human on a world the Empire suddenly wanted. They believed you were promises of protection under galactic law. Turner removed a small device from his pocket and pressed it. Holographic images appeared above every delegation's platform. Faces of the women killed, their names, their professions. "Look at them," Turner commanded. "The Empire wants you to see them as statistics. I want you to see them as people." High Chancellor Voxel stood abruptly. "This display is unnecessarily dramatic. The Empire acted within its rights. I have not yielded the floor." Turner interrupted, his voice still measured but carrying an unmistakable edge. Several delegates gasped. Interrupting in council was unheard of. "Humanity came to this galaxy in peace, but we have not forgotten how to wage war," Turner continued. "As of this moment, Earth and all human worlds declare total war against the Galactic Empire." Chaos erupted in the chamber. The Empire controlled 80% of known space. Humanity's territory was barely visible on galactic maps. "This is absurd," Voxel chittered. "Your species will be extinct within a standard month." Turner smiled for the first time, a cold expression that silenced the room, perhaps. "But we've transmitted the massacre footage throughout human space. Every colony, every outpost, every ship has seen what you did. And unlike you, we understand something about sacrifice." He raised his hand, displaying a simple metal band on his wrist. "This contains launch codes for Operation Prometheus. As we speak, human mining vessels are redirecting asteroids toward Imperial core worlds. Civilian evacuation is impossible at this stage. Our fleet, while small, has already begun targeting your primary shipyards." The moderator's voice cut through the stunned silence. "Ambassador, this council cannot condone. We're not seeking your permission," Turner replied. "We're informing you of our decision. Any world, any species that harbors Imperial forces will be considered an enemy combatant." Those who remain neutral will not be harmed. Representatives from smaller worlds began frantically communicating with their governments. The Empire had many reluctant vassal states who suddenly faced an existential choice. "You're bluffing," Voxel said, but uncertainty had crept into his posture. "Humanity spent millennia perfecting the art of war before we learned peace," Turner answered. "We've analyzed your military capabilities extensively. You rely on numbers and technological superiority, but your forces haven't faced actual combat in generations. Your soldiers are parade ground warriors. Ours are veterans of the Mars conflicts and the Belt Wars." Turner walked to the center of the chamber, addressing all delegates. "You have 6 hours to declare your position. Neutrality will be respected. Alliance with the Empire will be met with immediate action." He turned to leave, then paused. "One final thing. We've transmitted the technology for our shield harmonics to every non-imperial world. The Empire's weapons will be significantly less effective now." As Turner exited, the chamber erupted into pandemonium. Within hours, 43 worlds declared neutrality. By day's end, 12 former imperial vassals had pledged support to humanity. The war that followed would reshape the galaxy, but in that moment, as he returned to the human embassy, Ambassador Turner thought only of the faces he'd seen on the broadcast and of how the Empire had fundamentally misunderstood human nature. They had expected submission. They had ensured their own destruction.